What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on LeBron James and this excuse making that LeBron James, man, is doing, and not just LeBron James. It's his fans, right? Whenever the Lakers have some success, LeBron get all the credit. And then once the Lakers lose, LeBron James and his fans get to point at his teammates, right? Now, right after game one, LeBron James, he was in the locker room and they were interviewing him. He talking about, brought up the fact that Luka wasn't there and that like Luka's production is what they're missing, right? Like he need more help. And for me, it's not a good look for LeBron or his fans. When Marcus Smart played well during that first series, against Houston, he didn't get as much credit as LeBron James did. Everybody's talking about how this was going to make LeBron James, the further he get into these playoffs, the more that cements his GOAT argument, right? Which I don't really think so. I think that his legacy is already set. Even if if a miracle was to happen and LeBron James was to win another title, he's been in the league 23 years. So he's been in the league 23 years and he had five championships. He tied with Kobe. He's still not up there. He still don't have as many championships as Mike. And then it took him 23 years to get, 5. So to me, his legacy is already set. But this is another reason why people he could never really get like superstar players that wanted to stick with him and play with him, because they know that he get all the credit, none of the blame, then he gets to throw his teammates under the bus, right? Now, LeBron did score like 27 points. I think he had 18 in the first half. And a few of those was like breakaways, like he stole the ball or he was cherry picking. So he got, 18 in the first half. And then in the second half, when they really needed, the GOAT to step up and to carry the team, he couldn't do it, just like always, right? So let's listen to the interview that LeBron James gave. And also I want to listen to and because this is from the Get Up, right? And to me, they're just promoting the narrative. But I want to also make comments on what they said about LeBron James too.
We're down one. Same Shea versus the Lakers. It's Lakers versus the Thunder. We're down 1-0. That's the main thing. Keep the main thing, and that's who win or lose. That's all it's about.
So, look, I mean, if you look at odds and all the rest of that, I mean, no one is giving the Lakers any chance of winning this series. And frankly, I don't think any of us think that they can. And last night, Michael, felt like if you're going to get a game, the one in which Shea Gilgeous-Alexander only scores 18 points and turns the ball over a lot, if you're going to steal one, maybe that was the one to steal.
No.
No. There isn't one to steal.
That logic is fine.
Right.
The problem is they don't need any one thing like that. There's so many. We talk about their depth. It's also their superpowers, all the things that OKC does well, all the things they do at a championship level. And so you've got to counter not just one of them. Okay, so they checked one box out of like 8, the SGA box. Mm-hmm. And are they going to get that again? They're going to get as few as 18 points again? Probably not. So LeBron, you have this evening from LeBron, which I did expect it. I thought LeBron was going to do exactly what he did. But everybody else was not at a championship level, and OKC was.
24-12.
Now, I don't even think LeBron James was at a championship level. All right, so he scored, like I said, he scored 18 points in the first half, and I think 9 in the second half. But he doesn't do anything else, for the team. Nothing else, defense or setting his teammates up to and putting them in a position where they can score or where they can be successful. He don't do any of that. But they just bring up the fact that he had 27 points. And part of being a GOAT is not giving the team what you can give them, it's giving the team what the team need. And if that's all he can bring to the table, then, you know, in my opinion, he's not the GOAT.
From Chet Holmgren. Wendy, I was reading your notes this morning and you were making the observation LeBron has played quite famously in a bunch of series where he didn't really have a chance, and he has always played great.
Yeah, one of the greatest games of his career, frankly, was game 1 of the 2018 finals, the sort of famous J.R. Smith game where, you know, his statistics in that game were amazing. The game goes to overtime. You know, he's been swept 3 times in his career, and a couple of them have happened in the finals, and you've never looked at his performance and never thought that he didn't go into games playing with full power trying to win. And he did it again in this one.
That's lie. When they played in that championship game against the Dallas Mavericks, and he let that guy, when he was in Miami, he let, what's the guy name? Jason Terry and the other small guy, and they shut LeBron James down and held him to 8 points. So, you know, like these media people just have like selective memory when it comes to LeBron James, and they try to say he's always, you know, like, that statement that what's the guy name? Wemby just made would apply to Michael Jordan. Like when Michael Jordan was playing against the Detroit Pistons, like Michael Jordan always got his numbers. You wasn't going to hold Michael to under double digits, or you wasn't going to shut Mike down. And so if you wasn't going to shut Mike down, you knew that it was about getting the right people around Michael Jordan to help Michael Jordan overcome the Detroit Pistons. That's not the situation with LeBron James. LeBron James has been swept down, just like this guy Wemby said. He's been swept three times, and he's had performances in the playoffs and in the championship where he has like he shrunk in big moments. So that's not true about LeBron James.
Problem is really more the 90 than the 108. The 90 points, guys, the Thunder make it so hard. And without Luka Doncic, there's so much pressure on the guys not named LeBron. Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, Austin Reeves. Greeny, you look at their stats together, okay? They're 8 of 35 with, I think, 8 turnovers. Yeah, like, they're not getting, by the way, it's not a stunner. Austin Reeves struggled against the Thunder in the regular season. Everybody struggles against the Thunder. But if you can't get more from that trio, it doesn't matter whether LeBron scores 27 or 35 or whatever, and that's just the reality.
I understand that Austin Reeves is coming back from an injury and probably still working his way into it, but he did have more turnovers than field goals last night. He was 3 of 16. He had the 4 turnovers, 0 of 5 from 3, and this is a player who was supposed to be part of the big 3. In fact, he was supposed to be the 2 in the big 3, and LeBron was supposed to be the 3.
Well, the problem with this is there is no player for the Lakers to.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that Austin Reeves, you know, like Austin Reeves is not, in my opinion, a number 2, maybe a number 3, a third option. So, you know, and I think the Lakers lucked up last series when they had the Houston Rockets who just fell apart. And this right here, this series right here is going to be, again, it's going to be about LeBron James' teammates not stepping up, you know, and they already brought up the situation that happened with, you know, with J.R. Smith when he was playing with LeBron James. And that's what happened. You know, LeBron James get all the credit and he get all the accolades when things go well. But when things don't go right, then everybody else get thrown under the bus. He only had 27 points, only 8 in the second half. And that's not, you know, like you have seen other guys who have gone for like 30 and 40 points in losses like that because they were unstoppable. You know, like LeBron James, 27 points is not somebody who, you know, it's like, oh, this guy was just, we couldn't control LeBron James, so we just let LeBron James get his and we just shut everybody else down. LeBron, you know, they wasn't even really concerned about, because remember, the Lakers only scored like 90-something points. So the points had to come from somewhere, you know. And LeBron James was the one getting all the easy baskets and the runouts, you know, cherry picking and stuff like that. He wasn't taking people off the dribble and dominating like that, especially not in the second half. So, like I said, just another example of why LeBron James, you know, his people just don't like playing with LeBron James. And this is it. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'm going to check you all out in the next video. Peace.